2025 is a refresh year for the Honda Civic, and while there are some design tweaks and some feature updates, the big news here is that there is now a hybrid, but not just for the sedan, also for the hatchback. Up until now, the only option you had for a hatchback hybrid was going to be the Toyota Prius, so I'm excited to see another option available on the market. We'll start with that hybrid system, which replaces the 1.5-liter turbocharged option from last year. So now you've got a new 2-liter Atkinson Cycle gasoline engine mated to 2 electric motors and an eCVT. You've got one electric motor to push the drive wheels, and the other one acts as a generator for that hybrid battery. The gasoline engine does a little bit of both depending on the situation. Total combined horsepower is 200, and 232 pound-feet is going to be your peak torque. And while the Civic has always gotten good fuel economy for an internal combustion car, now it gets excellent fuel economy rated at 48 combined. The styling of the Civic remains largely the same, though there are a few design tweaks, including some new colors. The story of the last 5 years or so has been grays and silvers, so for 2025 you get one of each new for the Civic. And for some reason in the last year or so, this sand color has gotten really popular, so now you've got a sand dune as well, which is exclusive to the hatchback. Not really my thing, but personally I'm more of a boost blue or rally red kind of guy, but you do you. These wheels here are going to be new for the 2025 model year and exclusive to the Sport Touring. I like these quite a lot, but actually all of the wheel designs on the Civic are pretty slick. They're going to be 18s no matter which trim level you get, and they're all going to be wrapped in all seasons. Now the all seasons have been updated with a new compound to help cut down on some of the tire noise, and when you opt for the Sport Touring you get wheel resonators as well to cut down on that noise even more. The grille has been updated as well as the lower front fascia, and you'd see darker taillights if this were the sedan. Note the black mirror caps, the black intake trim, and the black mirror surrounds are part of any Civic with the word sport in the name, while the body colored front splitter and grille surround are exclusive to the hybrids. Headlights, brakes, and tails are all going to be LEDs, but if you want the little LED turn signals in your mirrors, you will have to jump up to the Sport Touring. A jump that also gets you front and rear parking sensors and rain sensing wipers in addition to the wheels I mentioned before. Popping the hatch leads to massive amounts of space, class leading with about 25 cubic feet here. And if you need a little bit more room, then you can pop down the seats. You've got that 60-40 split on those. We've also got a privacy cover back here, and the hybrid swaps out the real spare tire or a fix-to-flat kit under the floor. Womp womp. For your key fob functions, in addition to your standard lock, unlock, and pop the hatch, you also have remote start. I love it when automakers put it right there on the fob instead of having to dig through the app as your only way to remote start the car. And that's not just on this Sport Touring, that's on all of the Civic hatches. The trunk is massive, but so are the back seats. I'm only 5'7", but I've got space for days, weeks even. The Prius doesn't come anywhere close to this. Now, if you do find yourself needing more than this, then you can always go into the Elantra Hybrid, which is also an excellent vehicle. I'll link that video somewhere up here, but then you lose the hatch. Fairly sparse back here, no USBs, no vents, anything like that. Definitely no heated seats, but if you get one of the hybrids, you do get this fold down armrest cup holder dealy, so there's that. Not quite as sparse up in the front with these nice comfortable heated seats. You do have to jump up into the Sport Touring if you want the leather though and the power adjustability, but either way you get the choice of either gray or black. Sport Touring also gets you a leather wrapped steering wheel, wireless charger, auto dimming mirror, sunglasses holder, bigger infotainment and gauge cluster, an upgraded 12-speaker Bose sound system, your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay become wireless, and you get Google built in. That's new for 2025 and includes Google Maps, Google Play Store, and Google Assistant. Note that the car comes with 3 years of unlimited data for that Google built-in system, so if you do plan to keep the car for longer, then you're going to have to get a data plan after that time. The infotainment works great. I'm a fan of the Honda system in general. It's straightforward, it's clear, it's quick, it's easy to turn off if you don't like the light in your face at night. Same goes for the cluster, clear and simple with some extra info inside the gauges that you can scroll through with the rollers on the wheel, which is also laid out well and continues the theme of simple and easy to use. Note the paddles, those are not for shifting, those are for regen braking. No heads-up display, no heated steering wheel, no ventilated seats. Those would be some things that'd be nice to see, especially here in the top spec Sport Touring. But overall, the interior is still very classy, very clean, very comfortable. It's really a nice place to be, and it punches above its price point. The Civic has always had pretty decent driving dynamics, even in non-SI and non-Type R form, and that continues to be the case here. In fact, I'm very impressed with the responsiveness and smoothness when it comes to acceleration. Most automatics have a noticeable delay from when you hit the throttle pedal to when the car starts doing its thing, but there's really not much of a delay at all in this car. And it gets up to speed quickly and comfortably, plenty confident when it comes to merging on the highway. Not only is it quick, but it's surprisingly quiet, with the Sport Touring Hybrid being the quietest version of the Civic due to active noise canceling, along with those wheel resonators I mentioned earlier. Even a car that's mostly quiet at this price point tends to show its hand a little under heavy load, but that's not the case here. I've been really impressed by how quiet it remains, even when I stomp on it a little bit or go up a steep hill. Handling has always been a strong characteristic for the Civic, and this one is no different. In fact, it's slightly better than last year's due to better torsional rigidity, as well as some suspension tweaks. Those changes might be a little tough to feel in real-world driving, but you certainly won't find me complaining about incremental improvements. Now, if you don't like the way it drives in normal mode, there's also an Eco and a Sport, and the Sport Touring adds an individual mode where you can customize your whole setup. Those will adjust your steering, your throttle response. Now, if you want a little bit better fuel economy, you can up your regen braking using these paddles that I mentioned earlier. You've got 4 different levels there where the car will essentially start to brake as you take your foot off the gas to help juice up the battery a little quicker. As for safety and driver's assist, Honda has improved its collision mitigation for better detection of bikes and motorcycles. Now, I don't make a habit of trying to mow down bikers, so I admittedly haven't fully tested that one out. Also improved for 2025 are the adaptive cruise and lane centering with smoother acceleration and deceleration and less notchy steering intervention. Blind spot, rear cross traffic, adaptive cruise, and lane centering have all worked quite well throughout my time with the car. I did have to turn off the lane shove assist, but I do that in most cars. Overall, the Civic has always been a great car, but the Hybrid is an even more impressive product. It's quicker than ever, it's more efficient than ever, it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's quiet, and the hatch offers massive amounts of space. There are a few nice to haves missing from the inside, but overall this is truly a standout in the compact segment. As always, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.